Guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be reacting to every Dexter Resurrection character who will die. And, so basically, like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it.
By episode 5, we're already halfway through Dexter Resurrection, and there have been a lot of deaths and murders already. Harrison has killed Ryan Foster, Dexter has killed Lowell, and I reckon that there are going to be a lot more deaths and murders as we approach.
By the way, if you don't watch Dexter, you need to. It is a great show. Probably like my favorite show of all time. And I'm just gonna make a little bit of content every now and then of it. I'll be going back to my gaming. I do have a Minecraft video upcoming and more ranking videos with Dragon Bob. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get to this.
The climax of the series. The show is really ramping up the violence with both father and son getting their hands dirty. And with Angel Batista closing in, Leon Prater's operations unraveling, and all these serial killers running around New York, it feels like we're building towards something much bigger and bloodier in the back half of the season.
This season is so great so far. This like new show or whatever. But yeah, I mean I love it. For sure. But comment down below what your favorite Dexter season is in the bottom, or if you also agree that you like this, and if you think that these characters will die.
In this video, I'm going to be speculating about every Dexter Resurrection character who might die by the end of the season, and we're gonna start things off with the obvious. Among the remaining members of Leon Prater's serial killer network, Gareth, Al Jolly, and Mia LaPierre are all equally likely candidates for Dexter's next kill. Though I think the writers will only have him eliminate one of them since killing all three would be way too predictable. My guess is Dexter will strategically remove whichever one poses the biggest immediate threat to his cover, then leave the others alive to maintain his position within the organization. Following his elimination of Lowell and successful framing of Mia for Ryan Foster's murder, Dexter has demonstrated his willingness to
I how they ended that last episode on that.
selectively remove threats while maintaining his cover as Red. But the question remains, which of these three represents the most pressing danger to his infiltration of this unprecedented serial killer community? The situation is complicated by the fact that each member brings different advantages and risks to the table, making it a strategic chess game where one wrong move could expose his entire operation. Each of these three poses a different type of threat to Dexter's cover. Gareth's suspicious nature and constant surveillance makes him dangerous because he's clearly studying Red's behavior patterns and looking for inconsistencies. Al's genuine personality and family connections present a different kind of risk. His transparent nature and extensive social network could accidentally expose gaps in Red's fabricated history. Even in prison, Mia remains a wild card who could cooperate with law enforcement during their brief romantic relationship, especially if prosecutors offer her a deal in exchange for information.
Bro, there was like a thing that somebody said on TikTok that them two are killers, and I thought that he's either rage baiting or he genuinely thinks that and he's just dumb. I don't know. That is probably the worst writing that I've ever heard, that them two would be killers.
About other active serial killers. I think Gareth will probably be next to go.
He's a scary looking guy, I ain't gonna lie.
Though I'm not entirely sure how it will play out. Based on David Dastmalchian's prominence as an actor and his increased presence in episode teasers, it seems like the Gemini killer is being set up for a bigger role in the story rather than just being background scenery. My guess is that his methodical nature and intense focus on Red will eventually force a direct confrontation with Dexter, who will have to eliminate him purely for survival rather than following any code. This confrontation might happen when Gareth finally pieces together enough evidence to confirm his suspicions, or when he decides to test Red in some way that threatens to expose the deception. The key thing about the show is that Dexter has to juggle three major elements: following his code, not arousing suspicion in this new serial killer network by killing everyone, and hiding his true identity as the Bay Harbor Butcher. He's the new guy in this group, so he can't afford to have too many members disappearing or it'll point directly back to him. He's not killing these people because they fit his usual criteria. He's doing it purely for survival because they threaten to expose his infiltration of Prater's network. The writers are definitely going to do something.
I feel like with the girl, you know how he sent her to prison or whatever, I feel like instead of calling the police, I know she was crazy, but Dexter wouldn't have known what to do if he didn't follow a code. I mean, he would have been just like them. But he could have probably taught her, a code, and she probably would have listened, possibly. I wish, never mind.
Something with this three-way tension,
but yeah,
creating situations where Dexter's moral code conflicts with his survival instincts. I think it's going to end up with one of those three dead, probably Gareth based on the setup, though I'm not exactly sure how they'll execute it without making it too obvious that the new member is systematically eliminating potential threats. Let me know if you have any ideas. And whilst you're doing that, I want to ask
Yes, I'm wearing a golf shirt. I went golfing. Comment down below if you want to see some golf vids. That'll be tough.
you all to check out my official account on X and Instagram, and see how many followers we can grow it to. The next person I have in this video is Charlie, and her role as Leon Prater's ruthless enforcer puts her directly in Dexter's crosshairs. As a former special ops operative, she's got the skills and training to potentially uncover Red's true identity, and her unwavering loyalty to Prater makes her both a formidable threat and an inevitable target that Dexter will probably have to eliminate. Charlie's background as Prater's head of security makes her uniquely qualified to uncover deception within his organization. Her special operations training gives her investigative skills that rival law enforcement, and she's already proven her ability to track down serial killers for Prater's gatherings. I think the writers are probably building towards Dexter's identity as the Bay Harbor Butcher being revealed at some point, and when
Do y'all think, what's his name? The main guy that's like hosting the dinners? Y'all think he's a killer? I'm not sure, but I just can't see him killing somebody. I don't know. It's not like anything against him. I just can't see that character.
Charlie inevitably starts investigating
somebody.
Lowell's disappearance, she'll likely be the one to piece it together. Her military training and investigative skills make her the most capable of connecting the dots between Red and Dexter Morgan. Once she discovers the truth, she'll definitely end up in Dexter's crosshairs because she becomes an existential threat to his survival. My guess is that Charlie won't just confront him directly, she'll probably try to set up some kind of tactical operation to take him down, which could lead to one of the most intense fight scenes we've seen in the series. Unlike most of Dexter's previous opponents, Charlie actually has legitimate combat training that could match his skills, so it'll probably be a much closer fight than usual. But then again, what happened the last time someone with
Dexter Loki may get rocked, I ain't gonna lie.
military training confronted Dexter? Of course, I'm talking about Dokes. If Charlie does get killed, I think he'll create a domino effect that starts bringing down Prater's whole operation. She seems to be the security backbone keeping everything together. So without her protection, the other serial killers will probably start getting paranoid and losing faith in Prater's ability to keep them safe. Her death could be the catalyst that triggers the collapse of an entire network, and that could be very interesting for the series. This brings me nicely onto the next person I have in this video, but before I do that, it's just a friendly reminder to subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to his channel and subscribe to mine, please. It means a lot.
Leon Prater seems like the most likely candidate to end up on Dexter's table eventually, since every season of Dexter typically has that big confrontation between Dexter and the main villain. Think
Miguel
Arthur
Prado.
Mitchell, Miguel Prado, or the Ice Truck Killer. Prater's basically the only character who really fits that season antagonist role right now. What can make Prater a target is that he's not just collecting serial killer memorabilia, he's actively financing and enabling multiple killers, which might fit Dexter's code since he's basically complicit in all their murders. Plus, his obsessive knowledge of cases where Dexter was involved, including owning Dexter's actual blood slide box, suggests that the writers might be setting up some kind of recognition scene.
I love that scene where they showed all that. That was so sick.
There's a good chance Prater will eventually figure out that Red is actually the Bay Harbor Butcher, assuming he doesn't already know, whether through his own research or maybe external pressure from Angel Batista's investigation. If and when that happens, his narcissistic personality can make him feel personally betrayed by the deception, which might be what triggers the final confrontation between them. Although I've got no idea how he'd react, comment down below if you want a what if video on that idea. Now, I'm not really sure how this would play out though. Maybe Prater tries to have Charlie take out Dexter first, or perhaps he attempts to expose him to law enforcement. But given the show's typical structure, there's a decent chance that Prater could end up on Dexter's table by the season finale, with Dexter probably justifying it by explaining how enabling serial
Wasn't this like show renewed for like 5 seasons or 3 seasons? I forgot, but I know it was renewed for like a lot more seasons.
killers makes
Which
them
I'm
just
happy
as
about.
guilty as the killers themselves. This is where the video gets good, because Angel Batista is the first person in this video who doesn't fit the code. If Dexter kills him, it won't be because Bautista deserves to die according to the code, but purely because he was getting too close to the truth and threatens Dexter's survival. Batista's investigation stems from guilt over his ex-wife Maria LaGuarta's theories about Dexter being the Bay Harbor Butcher, theories that ultimately led to her death in season 7. Following Angela Bishop's revelation at the end of New Blood,
I thought Deb was gonna shoot him. I don't know.
that
What
Dexter-
I thought she was gonna like do it to herself. It could have been bad.
was alive and was indeed the infamous serial killer, Batista had traveled to New York with renewed determination to uncover the truth. His position as captain of Miami Metro Homicide Division gives him both the authority and resources to build a comprehensive case against Dexter. The franchise established a clear precedent. James Dokes suspected Dexter's true nature and died when he got too close to the truth, and LaGuerta followed the same path with identical results. Now Batista is exhibiting this exact same investigative behavior, even recruiting Masuka and Quinn to assist in his pursuit. His hospital
He
confrontation
didn't recruit them. I thought he like pushed them off and he didn't tell them. But I don't know. I hope we get to see Masuka and Quinn again, bro. That'd be so tough.
Dexter revealed his unwavering suspicion, prompting Dexter to flee rather than face continued questioning. The tension is only going to escalate as Batista begins working
Wonder
with
if we're gonna see Angela again, Dexter's girl or whatever.
NYPD detectives, systematically building evidence that could finally expose the Bay Harbor Butcher.
Probably
I think
not.
the climatic confrontation could happen in episode 8 or episode 9, when Batista might finally get irrefutable proof of Dexter's identity. Following the established pattern, he'll probably seek a private moment with Dexter, not for arrest, but for closure and confirmation, similar to LaGuerta's final confrontation. However, unlike his previous
Batista's dead. And this is why. So, well, let me go think about that now. If Angel Batista actually believes that guy, the Lady Vengeance, killed the guy and cut up his body into pieces or whatever, then he's gone. I think either he'll leave or he'll kind of be, side character, still kind of be looking around. They'll show his POV a little bit. But other than that, if he still believes Dexter is the killer or something, I think Harrison kills him. I think Harrison kills him to save Dexter. I don't know, actually. I may not be cooking here, but he's cooked, honestly. Batista's one of my favorite characters. He's been here since day one. He's probably cooked, though, if he gets too close.
His victims, who died through elaborate rituals, Dexter might be forced to kill Batista in a moment of desperate self-preservation. Probably something swift and brutal, like a knife to the heart or strangulation. I think Batista's death could create immediate chaos within both Miami Metro and the NYPD investigation. Dexter would probably try to stage the scene to look like an accident or a confrontation with another suspect, but the rushed nature of the kill might leave evidence behind. The twist could be that Batista already shared his findings with Masuka and Quinn, so his investigation survives his death. This would transform what seems like a victory for Dexter even into a more dangerous situation. I
feel like in this season, Dexter doesn't act like he got shot. Like he's still moving like prime Dexter. Well, a little bit. And also, his friend, his African American friend, it's reminding me of Brother Sam, and I loved Brother Sam back then. Like, he carried that one season, in my opinion. It was kind of boring, but I love Brother Sam. And I'm sad that he died in the show. But I think this is like a recreation of him, and he's amazing. And I have a feeling that he may die. And I think he might. But it would also be crazy, because what if he's that one killer? What if he's a killer too? Or what if the daughter's a killer, She seemed off. I don't know. I don't think he's a killer, but the daughter could. She seemed a little bit off.
Surviving investigators would be armed with Batista's evidence and motivated by personal vengeance. But if Dexter does kill Batista, then I think that Dexter will end up dead as well. Now, this might be crazy, so hear me out. Dexter Morgan might be facing...
Wait, if he kills Batista, then he'll be dead as well? I don't believe that. I think he'll leave evidence, and oh my god, what if Masuka found it? But Masuka lets him go. No, okay, I'm not cooking. What am I saying, bro?
his most inevitable fate in Dexter Resurrection, as the sins of his past could finally be catching up with him in a scenario that would probably mirror the tragic ending of New Blood. If Dexter does end up killing Angel Batista, I think—
If Dexter doesn't die by the end of this show, they're going to be dragging Dexter till he's 90. Like, if he doesn't actually die, they're going to end up being like, oh, we can make another season. People are still alive. But they could end up dragging the franchise with his son. Basically, kill off Dexter. He dies, right? But his son takes his place, Something happens maybe in the show or this show, right? And it makes him where his son has to take his shoes or something, And he'll be just like Dexter. I mean, something in his mind just makes him go crazy. I don't know. But I know he's not like Dexter, but he could be in a way.
That could be what sets up his downfall. Throughout the franchise, Dexter has maintained the illusion that his victims deserved their fate, but murdering Batista would represent killing an innocent man.
He's killed innocent people before. I mean, it's...
beloved friend who's just seeking justice for his deceased ex-wife. This act might fundamentally break the psychological framework that allowed Dexter to rationalize his actions, potentially creating an irreparable fracture in his relationship with Harrison. The pattern from New Blood could become relevant again, where Harrison's moral awakening leads him to recognize his father as a monster who brought death to everyone around him. I think that if Harrison discovers the truth about Batista's murder, either through his own investigation or by witnessing it firsthand, it could force him to confront the reality that his father hasn't changed and never will.
Dude, what if that's the end? What if, oh my god, what if Dexter ends up going to prison, Harrison becomes the new person, and like, you know, he'll visit Dexter in the future of like his own show, but he won't kill. I don't know what we could do for him. If he does end up killing, then yeah, that'll be, you know, cool. But I don't know what they could do for him if he is like has to take Dexter's shoes.
The emotional devastation would probably mirror his reaction to Logan's death in New Blood, but with even greater intensity given Batista's significance as a father figure from Harrison's childhood. Meanwhile, law enforcement might close in on both father and son, with Detective Wallace's investigation reaching its climax and additional authority.
Bro, we need to see Jamie again, bro. Batista's sister? Oh my gosh, dude. Harrison was lucky back then. But that would be low-key kind of fire if we could see Jamie again. And then, you know, a little reunion, you know.
Is becoming aware of Dexter's true identity. The climatic confrontation could unfold in one of two scenarios, both possibly echoing the ending of New Blood. Either Harrison might take his father's life again, but this time with complete moral clarity rather than confusion, or Dexter could meet his end through law enforcement.
He shoots his dad again and he comes back to life. That would literally... No, that would ruin Dexter. I'm gonna be honest. That would ruin the show. If he came back to life again. That would either ruin the show... I mean, it wouldn't ruin it for me. I would still love it. But, I mean, that would just make it so stupid, honestly.
Bring some kind of standoff.
He would literally be Michael Myers.
His crimes are finally exposed. By Harrison. If it happens, Dexter's death would probably serve as the definitive conclusion to his story, ensuring that the cycle of violence finally ends with him, rather than continuing through Harrison. If you enjoyed the...
That'll be the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. It was a little short one. I needed to get something out for y'all. Because I really, you know, I gotta keep it going. But if y'all like this video, I could make more Dexter videos, you know, if my viewers like Dexter, you know. But, that'll be in the video. See you boys later. Good night. Well, wait. If it's, daytime, then good morning. Okay.